Machine Gun Kelly shares odd snap with leeches sucking on his naked stomach.
Pillow Talk. Love Actually fans spot missing part of movie, saying it's ruins the entire film for them.
Winnie Harlow wears wild mesh and leather outfit to cheer on boyfriend Kyle Kuzma as she leads Stars courtside at Washington Wizards versus LA Lakers basketball game. It's the podcast which has 4 dinners in a day, then goes to Miami to be the body double of a gangster doppelgänger. That's right, it's the Barely Contained Christmas Special 2022. And yes, that intro is pretty much the same as that of the Christmas Special 2021. I'm Matt Withers, and I'm joined, as ever, by Chris Beckett.
Hi, Matt.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. I have to say, I'm actually quite comforted by that familiar intro.
Yeah. Well, Merry Christmas to you and your kin, Chris, and indeed to all Barely Contained listeners.
Yeah. Merry Christmas. Have a very, very festive season.
And my initial gift that I will unwrap for you and the listeners is a story from the Daily Star Online, headlined, Machine Gun Kelly shares odd snap with leeches sucking on his naked stomach.
I mean, that is it. That is odd.
It is quite odd. The Machine Gun Kelly, are we aware of this guy?
Wasn't that a Spectrum game in the late 80s?
Yeah, it was. A Machine Gun. I don't know how many kids in your class at school you had called Machine Gun.
It's funny. Yeah, not that many.
We had 3. So we just refer to them by the surnames, because if you just said Machine Gun, all 3 of them would pipe up at the same time.
Yeah. Nightmare.
This begins. Machine Gun Kelly has freaked fans out with a video of his stomach that sees a cluster of leeches rifling and sucking on his flesh, with the museum branding them best friends.
So is that him, aside from the peculiarities, that just leap out from that, is he saying that the cluster of leeches are his friends, or that the leeches are friends with each other?
Oh, that is a good point, because I would have assumed that they were his best friends, but now you've mentioned it, yeah, he could be saying they are each other's best friends. Although quite how one would know if leeches were best friends or not, I'm not sure. Maybe...
I mean, you could ask them, but their mouths are full, I guess.
They're busy. They're writhing. They're sucking on flesh. So they haven't got time to get into chit chat about the levels of their friendship. Well, maybe they will. We'll see. American rapper Machine Gun Kelly, 32, has shared a very strange video that shows blood-sucking leeches sucking on his naked stomach. That's a difficult sentence to get out if you've had a couple of challenges.
Modern day tongue twister.
Machine Gun Kelly is an American rapper. We know that. That probably would have been quite high on my list of guesses. I would have probably not assumed he was kind of like a junior minister in the Foreign Office.
Yeah, I have to admit, I'm being slightly disingenuous, because I have heard of him, but only by virtue of his famous bow.
Ah, yes. Well, we'll get on to that. Well, now, indeed. Known for engaging in strange rituals like drinking blood when he got engaged to Megan Fox and licking a white substance off his wife-to-be's breast, it takes a lot for MGK's fans to be stunned.
Yeah.
Because I could have been misled by that those initials there and thought that it was actually Michael Van Gerwen licking a white substance off his wife-to-be's breast. That doesn't.
I mean, at this time of year, everyone's thoughts turn to MVG.
It doesn't strike me as his style, Van Gerwen. But yes, Machine Gun Kelly. So they were likely stunned on Friday, December the 16th, when Machine Gun Kelly, real name Colson Baker, took to his Instagram story to share a very odd video.
I mean, he's got quite an unusual name anyway, I would say. I mean, I don't know how common Colson is in the States. But, just keep it.
I don't really know many Colsons, I have to say. Sharing a clip of him laying down, there were a heap of slimy leeches wriggling around and writhing on his lower stomach.
Yeah.
Ah.
I mean,
When posting the clip on his page, he wrote "my best friends."
oh, okay. He's basically answered my query.
Yeah, what I would say was the key issue of the story. So these are his best friends. So he's letting them have a little lick and a suck at his stomach. Zooming in on his bare chest in the video, the slimy leeches were soon filling the screen as they moved around.
They're the real attention seekers in this piece.
The leeches could be seen rifing over MGK's tattooed stomach and near the tattoo, which states "almost famous." I mean, I would say that is generous, personally, or almost famous. I think that's a little boastful, considering that he is not a famous name, an unusual name, but not a famous name.
I don't. I would say the kids, the younger listeners would probably take umbrage at that, Matt.
Well, if were that we had any younger listeners, Chris, but if you are a young listener, and by young we mean anywhere below 40, do drop us a line and tell us what is the level of Machine Gun's fame.
We should probably do a listeners poll. Maybe look out for Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to do that very quickly before they change the rules on it. At the time of recording, it is still possible for average general Twitter listeners to vote on Twitter polls. That may have changed at the time of listening.
Yeah, due to one particular poll.
Looking as though they were sucking the musician's stomach, it is unclear what MGK is using the leeches for, and if they were indeed sucking on his blood. Leeches are widely known as parasitic predatory worms and have suckers at both ends, which were used to attach to a host in order to feed on its blood. We're getting into the Wikipedia section of the story now. The slimy worm-like creatures, which have a black outer, have long been used in medicine. I'd say they've long not been used in medicine.
Yeah, they're very much considered the old school.
Yeah. I'd say leeches in medicine's heyday was probably sometime around the back end of the 17th century, early 18th. And then it basically goes into a lot of detail here about leeches, which they've had the good grace to put a click through to the leech clinic, where they've clearly got a lot of this information from. There's a very close-up picture of these leeches.
For your blood-sucking needs.
Yeah.
Do you reckon on the Leech Wikipedia page there's now a Machine Gun Kelly header?
Yes, quite possibly.
Personal relationships.
There's I mean, that's pretty much the end of that story. There's just a lot of information about leeches. And then you just got a couple of links to other Machine Gun Kelly stroke Megan Fox content, including Megan Fox bewilders fans with tattoo as it gets mistaken for pubic hair.
Oh, wow. we didn't even pick the best story.
Let's move on. Chris, I believe you've taken a look at a story which relates to a film that's popular at this time of year.
Very much so, Matt. And this is from The Sun. And the headline is Pillow Talk. Love Actually fans spot missing part of movie, saying it's, in quotes, ruins the entire film for them.
Ooh, I would say the thing that ruins Love Actually is everything that's in Love Actually.
It's Love Actually, yes. Yeah. But let's see. I mean, maybe it could be even further ruined. Love Actually fans have pointed out a huge blunder in the hit Christmas film.
Ooh,
the film was released.
There's plenty of blunders in there. I would say that the bloke standing in front of his mate's house, trying to win over his wife/girlfriend with a series of notes written on cards. I mean, it's pretty weird conduct, actually, with hindsight, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It wouldn't really pass the Me Too test, no. Although I considered it a bit of a tribute to Tony Hart at the time.
Yeah, I think that was what was meant.
The film was released 18 years ago and is still loved by millions around the world, with many regarding it as the best festive rom-com ever.
It's a niche subgenre of films.
Even now, more than a decade later, fans will debate over which characters have the best romance and how Alan Rickman could ever cheat on Emma Thompson. Do they want a diagram? In one scene, Emma's character Karen finds out that a necklace that was purchased by her cheating husband, Harry, was actually intended for a young secretary.
Oh, cad.
In one of the most heartbreaking moments in the film, Karen breaks down in tears as it dawns on her that her husband has been unfaithful. Standing alone in her bedroom and wiping the tears from her face, Karen is seen rearranging her bed before leaving the room. This makes me think actually how the name Karen has been put through the mill the last few years.
Yeah, it certainly has. Not only is the conduct of that guy not meet the Twitter test these days, but Karen indicates something very different in the social media world.
Yeah. However, eagle-eyed viewers have pointed out a major mistake. There are no pillows on the bed.
And it's true. There is a picture of said scene here, which they've credited to Twitter rather than the film Love Actually. But no, there are no pillows on this pillows, indeed, on this bed.
Could they not just have been very, very, very tightly tucked?
I would say that this is a pillow-free bed. Listeners can take their own view, but I would say that there are no pillows on this bed.
Fair enough. One wrote, "Why doesn't she have any pillows?"
Straight and to the point.
Exactly. It's what we're all asking. Another posted, "Emma Thompson, there's no pillows on the bed in the scene where she cries after not getting the necklace." A third said, "Just noticed Emma Thompson and Alan Rickman have no pillows on their bed in Love Actually, and quite frankly, the whole film is ruined for me."
Do you think that Alan Rickman's character was cheating on her purely so he could spend some time in a bed with pillows?
I mean, possibly. I mean, it makes you look at his character in a whole different light, I think.
In which case, surely it would have been cheaper for him to buy pillows rather than buy a necklace, and he wouldn't have had to go through that whole bloody rigmarole with Rowan Atkinson.
But I think the thing maybe that it doesn't, maybe there's going to be a director's cut, years from now, where there's a big argument about them having pillows.
Yeah, come on, give us the full version, Curtis.
Yeah. And Emma Thompson's like, no pillows for you, and that's the straw that breaks the camel's back. He has to go out there and sleep with a young secretary. Another wrote, "What? No wonder they're a miserable couple. They've not slept for 20 years." The lack of pillows is the least of that film's problems. As the debate swirled on social media, others were convinced that the pillows were hiding under the duvet. Right, well, finally, someone's come round to my way of thinking. One tweeted, "The lack of pillows is the least of that film's problems." Someone else added, "They are there, under the duvet." This is not the only mistake fans have spotted in the film. One of the film's most loved couples are Hugh Grant and Martine McCutcheon, who play Prime Minister David and his love interest Natalie. However, many have spotted a glaring mistake in the scene where the two first meet, and it may just ruin your perfect moment.
Oh, God, I hope not, because that scene is very much my perfect moment.
That's a good reference to Martine McCutcheon's single there, Perfect Moment.
Do you think that's intentional?
I think so. They just chuck this stuff on the site.
Lovely little nod to Cutchin's short-lived musical career.
Enter Hugh getting out of his car, ready to meet his new staff as he takes on the position of leader of the British government.
Yeah, because you can't say Prime Minister twice.
There he is, looking handsome in a navy blue suit, crisp white shirt and dark blue tie. Now, don't forget the tie, blue with white spots. In the next scene, we see the PM being introduced to his staff, including Natalie. Try and ignore her embarrassed ramblings and take a butcher's at Hugh's neck area.
Take a butcher's?
It's like someone is basically, I reckon, someone was coming to the end of their shift. And they said, I'm writing this story about Love Actually and pillows, but I can't quite finish it. Can you take over for me, Frank? And he's like, yeah, all right. But try and keep my style, all right? Yeah, no problem. Lovely jubbly. He's now wearing a midnight blue with light blue dots.
Whoa.
But in other shots, the tie appears to magically change to a different pattern when the shot changes between different angles. Well, most people have never noticed the tie issue. Some spotted it years ago and now can't watch the famous scene in quite the same way.
That is the point at which the story ends without in any way backing up that people can't watch the famous scene in quite the same way. They haven't even got any Twitter quotes.
No. It's just complete kite flying.
Absolute, come on, Leveson.
Exactly. So, Matt, what are you going to send us off into Christmas with?
Well, I have taken a story from the Daily Mail online, and it's headlined, Winnie Harlow wears wild mesh and leather outfit to cheer on boyfriend Kyle Kuzma as she leads Stars courtside at Washington Wizards versus LA Lakers basketball game.
Nice.
Right. What we know, Daily Mail readers, famously basketball crazy.
Absolutely.
Absolute basketball mad, those guys.
Yeah.
I'm very keen to know what stars were courtside, including, of course, Winnie Harlow. As ever, have you got a clue?
I think I have heard of the name.
No, I've never heard Winnie Harlow, so I'm looking forward to the Daily Mail filling in the gaps in my knowledge. There's never a shortage of celebrities and high-profile people sitting courtside at the Los Angeles Lakers home games at I'll leave this bit in Crypto.com Arena in downtown LA.
Wow, just trips off the tongue.
The Crypto.com Arena is the home of the Los Angeles Lakers.
In years to come, I think we'll be looking back on that name, and it won't be that name anymore.
Yeah. And on Sunday, fans witnessed a razor-close game that came down to the wire when LeBron James and company faced off against the Washington Wizards. Model Winnie Harlow was among the celebrities who got to enjoy the spoils of her courtside seats. Compliments of boyfriend Kyle Kuzma, who's a former Laker who now plays for the Wizards.
As would be common knowledge to any Daily Mail reader.
Of course, mail readers will know all about Winnie Harlow and Kyle Kuzma in the Crypto.com Arena. Good grief. Harlow, 28, has never been one to be the quiet, shy type when it comes to cheering on her man from the sidelines.
Well, exactly.
Again, absolutely. If anyone knows anything about Harlow, it's that she doesn't remain quiet when she's at the Crypto.com.
No.
And Sunday's game was not different, as the Canadian fashion model and some gal pals were animated in their support of the visiting team because of Kuzma.
Sunday's game was not different.
It was not different. A very clunky bit of wording. It's also worth mentioning they spelt Canadian wrong.
Oh yeah. Oh well.
And a gal pals. The Wizards' 6'9" forward actually started his career in Los Angeles, playing for the Lakers his first 4 years in the NBA. Sitting at the courtside seats, the ladies screamed and yelled during the game as the two teams exchanged leads. The Mississauga, Ontario, Canada native looked like she could have come straight from the catwalk, decked out in a one-of-a-kind mini dress that showcased her statuesque figure.
Yeah, just really subtly adding details as they go.
She also donned a pair of high heels that gave her 5'9" frame an added lift.
It'll do that.
You wouldn't want to be sat behind her, would you?
You wouldn't, even though she's got the spoils of the great seats.
Yeah. I hate having my view blocked at the Crypto.com Arena. On this night, she opted to wear her raven tresses off her face and into a top bun with make bangs action in the front.
Absolutely no idea what they're trying to write there.
Into a top bun with make bangs action in the front. It's just been written by that AI website everyone's been talking about over the past week or so.
Oh yeah. Maybe they've been brought in, polish off a few stories.
It appears Harlow was on hand with her friend, rapper and singer Coy Lee 25, who sat to her right, dressed in blue jeans with a grey crop top and large orange boots. Again, Coy Lee? No idea.
No.
Harlow started dating Kuzma during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. Initially, they had to settle for a virtual relationship, considering the potential dangers at the time.
It's just an image of them wearing these VR headsets, like some sort of lawnmower man outtake.
Oh, yeah, that's a niche reference there. Some of the other celebrities to take in Sunday's game from courtside seats, including funny man Will Ferrell and his 15-year-old son, Matthias Paulin Ferrell.
Yeah, they've only spelt one of those Ferrells correctly.
Oh, yeah, they spelt it differently both times.
In a quality article.
Yeah, we don't need to go on too much. It goes into details of the actual game itself. A few of the other celebrities who were at the game, Chris. Rich Paul, Farah Leff, Corey Gamble, Jonathan Scott, and Drew Scott.
Well, I mean, who else would you be expecting?
I've never
the Crypto.com arena.
I've never heard of any of these people, and I'm pretty confident that most Daily Mail readers won't have done either.
No, yeah, I to be honest, they're not ringing a bell with me.
And that is pretty much that. Would you like any of the comments, Chris?
Yeah,
well, there are no comments because Daily Mail readers have got absolutely no interest in who's been attending a basketball game.
You dangled the carrot and the glass of sherry and then pulled it away.
Well, on that, Chris, I think we should wrap up our Christmas special. But it was very special, wasn't it?
I thought so. Extra special.
It was good. I enjoyed it very much. I mean, people are going to have a little bit of downtime over Christmas when they're not watching Only Fools and Horses or The Vicar of Dibley. Well, how would you suggest that they spend some of that time?
Well, I would probably go on to Twitter.
If it still exists at time of listening.
If it still exists, you know, there's a big if hanging over the whole site. But if it does, go to @barely_pod, see if we're still standing amidst the wreckage, and why not interact with us there? I mean, we've not joined Mastodon, so don't look for us there. But alternatively, go to Facebook. Barely Contain the podcast, and you can see little clips, and an archive, a very rich archive, going back many Christmases.
Yeah, absolutely.
But,
get the whole family together, sit around the fire, have some Yule log, and just listen to back-to-back episodes of Barely Contain. I think it will be a very memorable Christmas for you and your family. Yeah. The only thing I'd add to that is, of course, go and leave a review on your podcatcher of choice. 5-star. I think this was definitely worth. This was worth.
It's the season of goodwill.
Yeah, season of goodwill. Give us 6 stars if at all possible. And we will be back very, very soon. Just leaves me to thank you, Chris. Wish you and your family a Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year again. And listeners, we'll be back in 2023.
Yeah, thank you, Matt, and Merry Christmas to you too. And have a very Happy New Year, everyone. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Summer in the city, back of my neck getting dirty, gritty. Been down, isn't it a pity? There doesn't seem to be a shadow in the city. All around me, people looking out there. it's a different world. Go out and find a girl. Come on, we'll dance all night. Despite the heat, it'll be alright. And babe, don't you know it's a pity the days can't be more like the nights in the summer. In the city, in the summer, in the city.